So it finally happened. The CEO over Jeep, Dodge, and Ram resigned.
CEO Carlos Tavares stepped down effective immediately.
But is it too late? 1, 2, 3, 4, 18, 19 Wagoneers. MSRP $120,000.
Stellantis has been a world of hurt over the last year.
Tavares is leaving behind a mess of painful layoffs.
Another 1,000 employees will be laid off.
And overpriced vehicles sitting on dealership lots.
The reason for the resignation boils down to mismanagement. That's according to Stellantis' board of directors and the union and automotive experts.
We look forward to a new Stellantis leadership that respects hardworking UAW members.
What's morale like right now?
Pretty low around here.
And it's ready to keep its promise to America by investing in people who build its products. So his resignation came after a dispute on where the direction of the company should go with the board of the company. I'm very curious to know what this discussion was like, and I almost think it went something like this. So as the CEO of this company, I believe we should do exactly what we've been doing, which is sucking for the last 4 years, and I will continue to make my $39 million. How does that sound? Well, Carlos, we were wondering if maybe we could go a different direction and maybe not suck. But that's not what got me my $39 million. I think we just keep doing that. Let's just suck, and then I'll keep making my $39 million. Okay, you know what? I think we're gonna go a different direction. And I almost wonder during this conversation, there was a resignation. So Carlos, he said he's out, right? And it was over this dispute of how to fix the company. Here's the thing. Dude was making $39 million. He made $39 million last year to run this company into the ground, to keep all these trucks on these dealership lots, and to anger the union, to anger shareholders, to anger dealerships, to anger consumers. I don't know, dude's just going to give all that up, because really he wasn't trying to change a whole lot of things. He wasn't trying to reinvent the wheel, wasn't going after things to really fix what the company was doing, wasn't listening to anyone else. So in my mind, for a CEO that you have that's not willing to make changes that are necessary for the company, doesn't necessarily make me think that he's a company first type of individual. So maybe this resignation that happened, maybe it wasn't, I don't know, how do you put this in a nice way? Sometimes when CEOs resign, it's not necessarily because they want to, it's because the board says, well, we really think you should resign. Maybe the CEO says, well, I don't really think I want to resign. I would still like to make my $39 million. And the board says, well, if you don't resign, you're gonna have something really, really bad on your resume coming up, which the argument about it is you really can't fix Carlos's resume at this point, but basically what the board was probably saying is, if you don't do it, we're gonna do it for you. And that would be my opinion on how that conversation, how that dispute went. Now, what's the biggest problem right now in this car market? Well, we know it, it's affordability, right? And here's another thing where, okay, Stellantis, I can help you out. New CEO, I can help you out. All right, people are only going to buy if they can buy. If they go into the dealership and they want to buy the $70,000, $80,000 truck, even if they want to buy it, what's happening right now is people cannot get loans for this truck because the car payments are so high. The reason why the car payments are so high is because your MSRPs are so high. So here's the thing. I went and looked at all these trucks, and the cheapest truck that I can find on this lot is this one right here. And let's look at it. It's a Ram 1500. The truck looks good. E-Torque. That's a whole different story for a whole different day. But it's a 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab. Price on it's $59,000. That's the cheapest thing in a truck that you're going to be able to get on this dealership lot. And after you pay fees, everything like this, cheapest full-size truck you're going to get is going to be around like $65,000. You're not going to be able to gain market share when your truck prices are that high. It's going to kill your brand. It's already killing your brand. If somebody wants to go buy a full-size truck, they're not going to Ram. They're not going to pay $65,000 for a truck. Here's another one. We got 2025. Here's a Laramie. $72,000. I can go and show you every sticker on this lot, and it's you call it sticker shock. You're going to see it at every sticker price. prices of trucks are too high. And this is a problem. This is a problem that the new CEO coming in, they're going to have to fix if they want to keep customers that want to buy trucks from them. See all of these Wagoneers and Grand Wagoneers. Well, what does this represent for the company? This represents a company that has thrown away its base, has thrown away the rugged, the Jeep customer that we think, what you think about when you think about Jeep, you think Wrangler. You don't think luxury big SUV. That's not what you think about with Jeep. But this CEO wanted to change that perception, and they wanted to change it to a Wagoneer perception. You think about where production went under his CEO-dom, or whatever you want to call it, under his reign. Well, they took production away from the lower level trucks, the cheapest trucks that they make, the Ram 1500 Classic. They discontinued those, and they didn't discontinue production with these Wagoneers and Grand Wagoneers. They cut production in the places where people wanted the most, the cheaper trucks, and they kept the production, and they put production into things that they wanted the company to look like, but that their consumers weren't buying. And you can tell right here exactly. I mean, you go to any Jeep Dodge Ram dealership and you see tons of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 Wagoneers and Grand Wagoneers. And this is the direction that this company wanted to go. And let's look at it. Let's see if a consumer's going to buy this thing at this price point. MSRP $120,000, and at this dealership, after add-ons and stuff, 123 grand. In my opinion, messed up. This is not the Jeep customer. This is not what the Jeep customer has been, and it's the worst time to try to change your identity as a company. All right, here's another thing. I'm walking right in front of it. These Chargers, these Challengers. That's a unique color right there. Somebody changed that, and I think not for the better. But anyway, Chargers, Challengers. The direction that the past CEO wanted to go was, okay, EVs. But really, you have to read the market, and this is one thing that I feel like this CEO has done very, very poorly, and that's reading the room, reading the market, knowing what the market wants. We talked about it with the Ram 1500s, going to the 6-cylinder turbos when you can read the market and see that Toyota did the same thing and it failed, right? So let's not do that thing. Let's do what our market wants us to do, and that's make the big V8s. Well, you can go to a similar situation where you can look at Ford, and you can look at them putting lots and lots of money into Ford Mach-E's and into Ford Lightnings, and now it's a big problem for them. It's a big inventory issue. They've cut production because they can't sell them. It's not what the market here, at least in America, wants. But what does Stellantis want to do? They want to go the EV route with the Chargers, Challengers, right? Read the market, read the room. That's not the direction that consumers that want muscle cars want, and that's your consumer base. It doesn't matter if it's a good idea. It doesn't matter if it's better for future building or whatever. Right now, in the moment, they're not going to sell because the market doesn't want them right now. There are already companies that make toasters, and they make toasters very well, and toaster customers go to the toaster company to buy them. You're not a toaster company. You make American muscle cars, and American muscle car buyers want to burn gas. They want to hear the motor. That's what they want. And Stellantis, you got to hear your customer. That's one of the biggest things, one of the biggest problems with the last CEO. Did not listen to the customer. Let's go back. Let's listen to the customer, see what the customer actually wants. And an electric Charger, Challenger, American muscle car, muscle. They want toaster. You have to bear with me through this video because I have a cold, and I know you can hear it because I can hear it, and it's just echoing in my head. And we got a couple quotes here about the departure of the CEO, and it leads with, he won't be missed in North America, and not by the suppliers he fought with, not by dealers he fought with, and not by car buyers who ignored his vehicles. So this shouldn't really shock anybody, right? We've been talking about this for a very, very long time. Not only us, but every other segment of media out there, every other creator that's talking about the car market just in general. Stellantis, the worst place to be in the car market. They're failing in just about every way possible, and it comes from the top down. So when you have that and you have all of these sources that are calling this out, well, it's only a matter of time before the board of the company is like, yeah, you know what? We kind of knew this was going on for a long time, but why did it take so long to make this decision? Why do you let your dealers get overrun with Jeep Grand Cherokees, with all these Rams, with just trucks that nobody wants, with Jeep Gladiators that they can't sell? I mean, that was a hot vehicle, not just 12, 16 months ago. And it's just all about, it's all about direction. And they just been failing so much, and it took too long. And what I worry about is that, okay, we've got this situation now, we have to take a different direction. We're gonna have a new CEO come in, and they're going to take a different direction, because the direction that they're going right now, it's not working. And this is why they're changing things. But my worry is that you're already too far gone, because a change in direction at a company this massive takes a lot of time. If they get out new products, if they decide on new products, cheaper products to produce, that's going to be years in the pipeline. They can't just say today, okay, now we're going to start making a small $30,000 SUV. We're going to start getting some Ram 1500s that maybe don't have all the bells and the whistles, and we're going to get them down to $40,000 price point just so our customers can afford them. You can say that today and start putting into action today, but those trucks, those small SUVs, they're not in the pipeline already. It's going to be years before they hit customers' hands. And at that point, you're going to have these dealers that are sitting on this kind of inventory right here, and you've got inventory in the pipeline right now that's being produced, that's coming out for the next year's model and the year after that, that's still going to be these astronomical prices. Let's just pick one. This average Jeep Grand Cherokee, as altitude, so it's a higher, actually it's not the higher trim level, and it's just a 4x2, so it's not a four-wheel drive, and it's $43,000, $44,000. These dealerships are not going to be able to sell them, and they're going to have a problem just like what this dealership has right here, where you just have stacked up vehicles sitting everywhere, and it's going to further hurt the brand while these new changes are taking effect. And that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that a brand like Jeep, which I love Jeep Wranglers. I used to love to buy them. Every time I'd see one at auction, I'd go and try to buy it. And I love Jeep as a brand and what it used to be and what it used to represent. And it's not that anymore. And I'm worried. I'm worried for the brand, because it might be too late. His contract was supposed to be out until the beginning of 2026, but we're cutting that short, right? So what Stellantis has said is that they're not planning on replacing him until the middle of 2025. And they said that it's actually seems like it's better for the company to run with no CEO in the short term versus keeping him on, even to find his own replacement. So it's so bad, he is so bad for the company, that it's better for them to be bossless, to be without a CEO, than to let him run out his term, or even stay on until they can find a new CEO in the next half year or so.